The revolution's begun. The time to stand up has come. We are the rocking of the throne. We are the rocking of the throne.
I'm Victor Tiffany with Citizens Against Plutocracy, talking today with FAR candidate in Nevada running for the U.S. Senate, Jesse Sbaih. Jesse, thank you for joining me.
Victor, thank you for having me.
Of course. Try to get this video. There we go. So why don't we begin by having you just tell voters a little bit about yourself and why it is you're running for U.S. Senate.
Sure. Again, my name is Jesse Sbaih. I'm running for United States Senate in the state of Nevada. I'm a son of two amazing people who sacrificed everything to bring me to this great country, to have a shot at the American dream. I'm also a husband of an incredible woman, Dr. Samira Sbaih, who loves me and guides me. I'm a father, three adorable children who inspire me to do great things for our country. I'm also an attorney. I've been an attorney for about 17 years, helping people here in Nevada fight against greedy insurance companies. So when I was 11 years old, Victor, my family and I lived in Jordan. My father was a successful attorney. My mother was a teacher. And they wanted to give us a better life, and that better life could only be found in a country called America. So we immigrated to Chesapeake, Virginia when I was 11 years old. When we came, I didn't speak any English. I had to carry the dictionary around with me everywhere I went, but I worked hard, and I learned English and began to excel in school. At the age of 12, my family began to struggle financially. As immigrants with no contacts and language barrier, we began to struggle financially. So I took it upon myself to get a job. I started washing dishes at a restaurant at the age of 12. And it was really hard. I would work really late into the evening. I was working full-time, about 40 hours a week. And I would work late into the evening after school, and I would go home and have to study for a test all night. But it was tough. It was really tough, but I was grateful for the opportunities that this country provided and for the sacrifices that my parents made. So I continued to work hard. I ended up getting a scholarship to go to the University of Miami, where I graduated with honors. After that, I had an incredible opportunity to go to law school in San Diego, where I worked to support myself. And despite all that, I was able to finish near the top of my class. And then my journey on the American Dream brought me to Nevada, where I had the privilege and the honor to clerk for the Vice Chief Justice of the Nevada Supreme Court up in Carson City. And since that day, I've been serving the people of Nevada as an attorney and fighting greedy corporations. I've been very successful as an attorney, and I've been very blessed. I feel like I've achieved the American Dream. But really, life is not about me and my family only. At the end of the day, life is about all of us.
So why are you running for the Senate?
Yeah, I'm running because I want to take our country back from these radical Republicans like Donald Trump and Dean Heller. I want to fight for a progressive American dream, and I want to defend our American values that have been eroded and attacked by Donald Trump and his supporters like Dean Heller.
So why then did you sign the Contract for American Renewal?
Well, I think it's a great contract. There's a lot of we are aligned on a lot of the issues. I feel that there's a huge one of the biggest problems facing our country is wealth and income inequality, which has really decimated this great nation. We need to fight for a living wage. We need to raise taxes on the wealthy. I'm a big believer in healthcare as a human right, and so I support Medicare for all. I support free public colleges and universities. I think that's a very important investment that we make in our people. We need criminal justice reform. We need immigration reform. We also need all types of reforms here. We need to take care of. I'm sorry, did I lose you?
No, you're there.
Okay. Yes. So there's a lot of issues that are completely aligned with what I'm fighting for each and every day.
A number of those that you mentioned, and of course there's also the infrastructure. Those are three very expensive, pricey items for Congress to consider going forward. You're a tax and spend liberal, aren't you?
Yes, I mean, I think we should spend our money. This is the greatest and richest country in the history of mankind, but we don't have our priorities straight. So we need to spend our money in the right place, and we need to spend it on taking care of people, people's health, education, and infrastructure.
You mentioned the Medicare for All and the free education for qualified students. Are those obviously will be some of your top priorities, but among the other items that are on the contract, what will be the ones you'll give greatest priority to if elected? Not only if elected, but even on the stump, on the campaign trail, in debates, in interviews with other media besides us.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, as an immigrant, I'm a true believer in allowing people to achieve their American dream. So I would be fighting for immigration reform, pathway to citizenship for the 11 to 12 million people who are living in the shadows each and every day. It's not really no longer a political issue. It's a moral issue, and it's a moral obligation to find a solution for the 11 to 12 million people living in our country.
Just for the record, immigration reform is not on the contract. Do you have any of the other contract issues that you would want to prioritize?
Criminal justice reform, I think it's very important. Environmental, we need to take care of our environment. These are very important issues to me, and I'll continue to fight for them.
Great, and yeah, they are on there. We added, in fact, the criminal reform. The contract, when it first came to us, basically screamed white privilege. So we added the criminal reform plank. How do you expect to deploy this contract? Have you sent out a press release to the media letting them know you're a CFAR candidate? Have you used this in debates with your opponents? Have you mentioned it when you're on the stump? Or how do you expect to use this contract to help in your campaign, to help win over the voters?
Right. I mean, we've mentioned it as much as we're able to. Unfortunately, our opponent will not debate, and that's a big problem. In a democracy, we should have debates. We should have a marketplace of ideas, and where people get to hear their candidates talk about the issues. So it has not come up in a debate because no debate has been had. But hopefully, in the near future, it will come up. And certainly, CFAR I'm proud. I'm proud to have signed the CFAR, and I will continue to mention it when the time presents itself.
So, your major opponent, apparently this is the person who won't debate you, is Jackie Rosen. Why do you think voters should choose you instead of Jackie?
Well, I think there's a fundamental difference between her and I. I mean, one of the main differences is I'm a big believer in healthcare for all, and which she is not in favor of. I'm in favor of a living wage of $15 an hour, which she has not come on board for that. I'm a big believer in investing in our future, in our kids, and allowing them to go to college without having to have a huge debt. And one of the bigger things is I have refused to take corporate money, and I think we should take corporate money out of politics, and she is she's very much in favor of that. So there are strike differences between us, and I think when it comes down to it, the voters who are educated, who know what's going on, at the end of the day, they'll make the right choice.
Sounds like you voters are given a pretty clear choice between a progressive and a neoliberal. Does that sound about right to you?
Absolutely, and I think it's about time to elect progressives so we can fight for these progressive values in the United States Senate and the House and throughout the country. I believe the country is heading that way, and people are sick and tired of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, and insurance companies lining their pockets with billions of dollars, and their CEOs making tens of millions of dollars in incentives and bonuses. So I'm hoping, and I think I see that people have woken up, and hopefully they'll continue to fight for what's right for themselves and for their fellow citizens.
Well, I think that's about right. I mean, there was, of course, Nevada was in the news across the country in 2016, and maybe you'll be making news here pretty soon. Best of luck to you, Jesse. Appreciate this opportunity to speak with you.
Appreciate you, Victor. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Revolt Against Plutocracy won't just be covering the news about the necessary revolution in the United States. Sometimes will be making the news. If you want to stay on top of the revolutionary actions and strategies of grassroots, genuine progressives, and our allies, please subscribe to our YouTube channel today.